Hey there, friends. I'm about to show you how Democrat-run cities that are overridden with crime don't really want that crime to go down because guess what? They're going to lose grant money and lose control over their people. First, guys, go check out my friends over at CMMG, cmmg.com. These guys walk the walk. They don't just talk the talk whenever it comes to any kind of Second Amendment support. These guys are very active in the community as far as putting their money where their mouth is. Not only that, they make great firearms too. You can get your selection of calibers, Cerakote finishes, different types of action. One of the cool things about it is you also have a feature where you don't have to pay full price now. You can pay in payment plans. This is a pretty cool feature. Allows you to save a little bit of money now, keep some money in your pocket, and pay over the course of time. I recommend taking a look at this if it's something that fits your needs. Go to cmmg.com, use my discount code FTATF. Again, my discount code is FTATF. Receive 10% off your purchase at cmmg.com. As you guys know, constitutional carry was recently passed in Louisiana and will go into effect on July 4th. Honestly, I don't know why the delay. It should be in effect right now, but nevertheless, it's coming. A couple of months, 4 months away. The people in New Orleans, however, highest crime in the state, I might add, they're not real happy with this. And by the people in New Orleans, I'm talking about the, quote, leadership. Note the quotes, please. Police chief, mayor. We know the mayor is off destroying the rest of the city. We haven't necessarily heard from her right now, but we know what her thoughts are. And, of course, city council persons as well. Take a look at this video by the police chief.
It's going to dramatically impact whether or not an officer would be able to do a Terry stop on a person. It will dramatically impact whether or not guns are taken off at the street. It is absolutely going to have a dramatic impact.
House Bill 498 by Democratic New Orleans Representative Alonzo Knox would exclude the French Quarter, Downtown Development District, and Convention Center from permitless carry.
She is right to a certain degree. It will have a dramatic impact on it. The way it's going to have that dramatic impact is that now you're going to have people who were not criminals before, who now will be carrying guns concealed on their person in the French Quarter. This new permitless carry, the only thing it does is it changes the fact that who's going to be carrying. Because the same people who were carrying before, who might be wanting to commit a crime, are the same people that will still be carrying. It's just now we're going to have law-abiding citizens carrying. And I might add this also. If you disarmed people in the past who were not, quote, prohibited people, and they had not committed a crime, that was unconstitutional. So if you seek to disarm people now, that's the only problem you have, is you can't violate the Constitution now. That's their biggest problem. That's why they're really mad, because they could, by their own definition, violate the Constitution because they had a law in place. This Terry law they're talking about was kind of a stop and frisk law. Well, the law is still in place. So if they stop and frisk somebody now, before they could disarm that person because they were technically breaking the law by carrying a firearm without a permit, by concealing it. Now, if they can still stop that person. They still have the means to stop it. I'm not saying it's right. I think these types of laws are unconstitutional. They violate the Fourth Amendment. But if they want to stop somebody using the Terry law now because they see a, quote, bulge in somebody's pocket, more on that in a second, they can still do that. It's just now, if they have a gun and they're not a prohibited person and they haven't done anything wrong, you cannot disarm them. You are not a criminal until you commit a crime. I don't care how thuggish that person looks. You cannot disarm them if they are not a criminal. Why would you? You are violating their constitutional rights. Just because you don't agree with how somebody looks does not mean that that person is a future criminal.
New Orleans City Councilwoman Helena Mareno says such a law will hurt NOPD's ability to confiscate guns during major events.
If there appears to be that bulge, now the officer has the ability to stop this person and, therefore investigate a little bit further. Now that's not going to be able to be possible.
She said bulge. She's saying that the way they could stop them and frisk them and now they're not going to be able to do that, that's a lie. She is literally lying about this. This Terry law is still in place. They can still do that. They just can't unconstitutionally disarm somebody now. How many people in the past do you think they probably disarmed that were not looking to commit a crime? The numbers that they're going to see spike as far as new people carrying these guns are going to be people now who weren't willing to break the law. They're trying to pass this new law to make it illegal, a gun-free zone, in the French Quarter and some of the other areas, the Convention Center and places like that in New Orleans. By the way, these are areas with the highest crime rate already. So now you have people who did not want to get a permit before, who now will be legally carrying a gun, and by Constitution they can, and they're going to be the ones that the criminals are afraid of. That's why I say these Democrat-run cities want this crime rate to stay where it's at. They want the level of crime they have because they're able to control the situation as far as putting fear in people's minds and saying, look, the crime rate is so bad, you have to let us do this. This Terry law they have, you could potentially see by permitless carry the need for a Terry law to go away. They talk about alcohol in these areas and people walking around carrying guns with alcohol. Your honest, law-abiding citizens who will be the ones who will now start carrying, they hold themselves to a higher standard. They don't run around with guns when they're drunk. The people who aren't going to start carrying more or less are going to be the criminals. If they were already getting drunk and walking down Bourbon Street, they're still going to do it. You can pass whatever new law you want. All it does is prevent the good people from carrying a gun. The same people who carried before, after the law was passed, and in the future are going to be the same people carrying going forward. Oh, you passed another law? Whoop-de-doo. I was here to commit a crime. You're going to want to throw another charge at me? Dang. Dang. All they're going to do is plea down and rat somebody out, and you're going to drop that charge anyway. You see, y'all are part of the problem. Y'all keep dropping these new gun charges that you have out there just so that these people can get off, plea down, and it goes by the wayside. What's going to happen is these blue run cities like this are going to start to see a drop in crime because word travels fast in the hood. Word travels fast. What it's going to take is one of these yahoos thinking things are going to be operating as normal. He goes to try to mug somebody, and somebody who would not have been carrying before now is carrying permitless, and they put some lead in their ear. Word's going to get on the street. Dude, this new law is killing us, figuratively and literally. And they're going to stop randomly. They're going to be way more selective at how they pick their random victims now. They're going to start profiling their victims now. They're not just going to randomly go start attacking people. Now they're going to use the other profiling that is used against them in the little Terry law that you have. Now the criminals will begin to profile victims to decide whether or not that is a soft target or a potential person that will give you some lead therapy.
God save the Queen, man.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America. He's over.